Pan Africanist Congress has called on the Department of Land Reform and Rural Development and the police to conduct searches across the country in order to identify as well as dismantle all illegal military training camps. Well, this after the Hawks found an alleged illegal firearm training facility at a farm in Modimolle in Limpopo. For more on this, let's chat to Mr. Mike Bolhuis, who is a security expert. Mike, as always, thank you so much for your time. A very good afternoon to you. So the new developments and discoveries of these suspicious activities, yet once again, another camp that could be running illegal or even unauthorized activities. What do you think is really going on in these farms?
Well, first of all, I want to compliment the media and all the media that has initially the first camp that was identified. It created an enormous a lot of information in our country where we and the authorities required the public to assist, and they came forward. And now there's another one. It's due to intelligence, and you will see that the authorities also have been spending a lot of time gathering information, putting out informants and making sure that the criminal element is knowledgeable about this, as well as the public and surrounding areas, and the visual policing. I mean, it's made a huge difference, but the number one factor that we can deal with this and the authorities can deal with this crime, our country can deal with this kind of crime, is that there's information being given and that the media is doing the effort in constantly exposing it. And I once again want to ask the public to keep up with this, as well as the informant structure, the informant, and the intelligence structures, that they'll become bigger and better. And keep us appraised, and the authorities appraised of what's going on.
Mike, what I find very interesting is the fact that these activities in Bus have suddenly just kicked up a gear. What do you attribute to this? I mean, I know you've just mentioned intelligence there, but where was this intelligence all along in the past couple of years or so?
Yeah, that's the million-dollar question. The public wasn't most of the time, and even up till today, not usually trusting the government or the authorities. It's very important that the government, the authorities, and the public work together. And I really mean giving the government now, the new government. It was a very good election. We've got a good government in place, and the police. There is a change, there is a difference. There are specialized units dealing with the high volume of crimes, as well as special crimes like the kidnappings, these camps, for instance, and serious violence, serious economic, and serious cyber crimes. So I once again beg and urge the public to give the police and the authorities and this government a chance. You know, there are differences, there are positive news, there's no load shedding. I mean, if we really all as a country work together, we can deal with the infrastructure and our safety and security, but we need the public, because maybe 1% or 2% of our complete people in this country is in extreme, how shall I say, positions to make a difference. But if we aren't supported by the 98%, 99%, which is the public, nothing will happen. If there's no information, you cannot prevent crime. Then you can only identify when the crime has already been committed or is being committed, and then only can you address it. And that's when there's lives at stake, people die, and damage already been done, or how shall I say, a community and our country once again put in a spot where we are caught with literally with our trousers at our ankles. So the public coming forward, the specialized units in the police, the visible policing is making this difference, and it wasn't like that before. And hopefully now with this happening again, and you guys, the media, exposing this, there might be others that has been in the background operating for years. That information might come forward. And I am quite sure with the last two cases like this being exposed by the media properly and being dealt with by the police, the authorities, SIRA, military intelligence, police intelligence, crime intelligence, and the specialized units, I can tell you now. And look at that, the incredible visible policing. I am quite sure that this will come to a complete halt soon in our country. And desperate measures will be put in place that this is prevented.
You know, Mike, you make very interesting observations there, because actually we do have a state security ministry or even agency that is now, we understand, in the office of the presidency. So one would then have to ask what particularly it should be or is their role at this stage, because we're not hearing much from them, particularly on some of these high-risk security threats that have been reported in the country. And as a security expert, maybe also just talk to us about what type of training for security, firearms or other related security activities that are actually allowed within our country's laws. I do understand, firstly, that foreigners do not have the right to be security guards in this country or train to be guards in this country. So the so-called foreign security camps, under which laws are they actually operating and for whom?
All right, so number one, you must understand these extreme police units can only give so much information, otherwise they hamper their own investigation. What I do appreciate is that they are reiterating and saying what I am saying as well, and what we as specialist investigators in serious crime has been saying all along, and that is the working together relationship. Otherwise it will never work. You will never have crime prevention. But national intelligence, military intelligence, and all units that deals with state security will not necessarily give the in-depth forensic information presently, but they will give a report later for the sake of the public, leaving the country informed behind and also secure behind, and also at peace, knowing that they've done their work, they've done it thoroughly, they've done it correctly, they've done a complete identification, evaluation of these camps and situations, and they've done an in-depth investigation, and they solved these cases, and they've got crime prevention in place. Those are the most important factors.
All right, Mike.
When it comes to
all right,
guns,
Mike. Unfortunately, we're out of time. We're going to have to leave it there. But as always, thank you so much for your contribution this afternoon, Mr. Mike Bolhuis, the security expert, weighing in on the latest camp that has been discovered, which is purported to be providing firearms training there.